Everybody up.
37-year-old Kelly has missed out on condo after condo because she's just too darn picky.
I am not a decisive person.
It's time for me to step in.
You can easily talk yourself out of anything.
Sandra, help me.
She won't be doing it alone, but she will be doing it by herself.
And Sandra Rinomato is here, the host of the brand new show By Herself. Good morning.
Thank you.
A lot of women are doing this. We were just discussing during the break that I was saying 20% of the market is single women buying, but you said that's a 2006 stat, that's actually, you suspect it has gone up.
Yeah, roughly around 25-26% in Canada. We're waiting for the stats from Harvard, but in my own personal experience, honestly, it's really high. So 1 in 4 buyers is a single woman or a woman on her own.
So what is accounting for that shift then in terms of the buyer?
A lot of things. You were mentioning earlier that women are not, finishing high school and then getting married. And that's how I was raised. Be a wife and mother. That's what I was raised to do. But, I went to university. Women are getting an education. They're getting a career. They're traveling the world. They may not be finding Mr. Right. They may not want to find Mr. Right for years and years. Whatever the differences are, women are finding themselves single at an older age.
Now, do women, clip would make you think that women are snookering themselves sometimes because they just can't get around themselves. They've got too many things that have to happen for a deal to go through, and you're saying what, capitulate on a couple of those?
No, it's not Mr. Right, it's Mr. Condo. You can't find Mr. Right.
And these women are investing their hard-earned dollars. They're taking the financial risk of taking on a huge mortgage, possibly for the first time in their lives. They want it to be what they want it to be. When I go to a restaurant, I want my meal just so. When women are buying a condo or a house, they want it just so.
But you got to get into the market at some stage.
And that's where I come in.
Oh.
So I'm counseling them on what they can expect and what they need to lighten up on.
Right.
It's a whole process, but it's not just women that go through this. It's every single buyer out there.
You think women would rather deal with women realtors or male realtors?
Well, statistically, it shows that they prefer to deal with women.
And why is that, do you think?
I think women realtors tend to have a little bit more patience, or perhaps we can connect with them on a certain level. Like, you say, well, I don't like this bathroom. You say that to a guy realtor and they may go, it's perfectly fine, but I'm like, yeah, no, this bathroom's horrible.
It's the same with cars, where women are looking for different things inside a car. There's different design elements that we want incorporated
what are women
into
looking
these
for in a
things.
bathroom? Outlets?
A van
spa.
What do you want?
Spa
Circuit
feeling,
breakers?
a spa retreat.
Oh.
Actually, I'll tell you, women are very concerned about the aesthetic appeal, whereas a guy is not really that concerned. And I'm really generalizing here, forgive me, but this is what I have.
Is that a little offensive?
Come on, Dave. You should have heard him during the break,
baiting.
Canada.
Hey, what happens in the break stays in the break.
So women are looking for different things. So that's the point of this show, that we're looking for different things. And are there mistakes that we're making along the way?
I think the mistakes that women make hold them back from getting into the market. And that probably, in my opinion, that's the most important thing. If it's the right time for you to buy a home, you need to forgive some of the mistakes of the property or some of the foibles or the things that aren't there and just get into the market. I'm working with a lot of young women who are expecting a lot of square footage, and you're looking at $600 a square foot or more in this city. So the reality is the square footage is very expensive. So they're overestimating how much space they need in their living room. Right. And I'm trying to tell these people, especially if they've never owned a home before, seriously move in here. Like, you've got room for a couch, 2 chairs, a TV, and a wall unit. What else do you need? Well, I want to have people over. I want to entertain, and that's a big thing on the women's wish list, room for entertaining. They want to have their friends in. Yeah. You can easily fit 10 people here. You want to have a party of 40, go to the common area, go to the rooftop garden or the party room.
Sandra, what advice do you give women who are maybe in their late 20s, early 30s? Maybe they do want to get married, but it doesn't seem like it's going to happen anytime soon. And so they're sort of waiting, should I buy a property?
Well, I think, that holds people back as well, where you think, I might meet someone soon, and then we'll want to buy something together, so why am I buying this now?
I can't tell you how surprised I was to hear that come out of all of these women's mouths. Hey, what if I meet Mr. Right tomorrow? So what? You own a property. That's wonderful. You have options. You can sell it and get the equity, put it into the house that you buy together. You can keep it as an investment vehicle, add to your real estate portfolio or your entire investment portfolio. Or he can move in with you and you can try it out that way. Rather than a lot of people hook up and they rent a property together. You know, he can move into your space. Getting him out is another story. But you do have options, and I think that's fabulous. So I don't think that should ever hold anyone back, honestly.
It's good to have the independence, too. I want to ask you about the negotiating process. How have you found that with the women that you've worked with in the show?
Not a problem at all. They're very realistic about the negotiating. Absolutely wonderful. I think the toughest part for them is finding the property and finally saying, I want to buy. You know, contrary to the stereotype where we're all walking around with our high heels and shopping bags and we're blowing all our money, women are very frugal. And this is a big ticket item, and they're very cautious about spending their money because they don't have a shoulder to lean on. So they're very concerned, can I afford this comfortably? Will it affect my lifestyle negatively? Because this is a step forward. They want to make sure they're not taking a step backward.
When do you know? You had mentioned that earlier. You said, you know, when a woman decides it's the right time to get in the market. How do you make that decision?
Women are making this decision for a variety of reasons.
Financially, what should you be looking at?
Well, if you're paying rent already, for example, let's say you're paying, just to keep the numbers easy, $1,000 a month in rent, and it's going to cost you $2,000 to pay mortgage, property tax, all of that. You should be putting that extra $1,000 away so that you are comfortable with that kind of a budget. Because if you're not comfortable, you're going to feel house poor, and it's not the right time for you then.
Right.
Also, you should just plan ahead and start saving money now, because every money you have, every dollar you have will go through to either your down payment or furniture or renovations, painting. It's expensive to buy and move into a place, so you want to make sure you have the cash.
How do you feel about the scrunchie?
The scrunch?
As a way
There's
of
one out of left
saving
field.
money,
Yeah.
you
By
know,
using
less
the scrunchie.
hairdressing.
Oh, Sandra, we were talking earlier about women getting heat.
Hillary
Clinton is wearing a scrunchie.
So 80s.
And she's, thank you.
There you go, there's her answer.
That's the answer. It's way too 80s. The show By Herself premieres Monday, April the 16th, 10 p.m. on HGTV Canada. Thanks, Sandra.
Thanks. It was great to be here. Thank
Great
you.
to see you. It's 8:52. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
So are we talking primarily